Can you go ahead and hire an attorney to evaluate whether or not you have a valid basis for a case, a medical malpractice case here in New York, in the middle of this pandemic, in the middle of this quarantine, in the middle of this lockdown? You want to know the answer? Come join me on this socially appropriate walk through the neighborhood as we have social distancing. You notice there's nobody around me during the walk around the neighborhood today. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. The answer is yes, you can. You can hire an attorney even though we are all working from home right now. We are still answering the telephones. We are still evaluating whether or not potential clients have valid cases. Now you should know something. Because the courts have come to a screeching halt, we are not permitted to go ahead and file a lawsuit at this moment while everybody is in lockdown. Since the courts are not operating, since nothing is happening in the court system right now, we cannot actually start a lawsuit on your behalf, provided you have a valid basis for a case. However, you should know that attorneys are still working from home. Attorneys are still talking to potential clients. Attorneys are still evaluating whether or not people who call have valid cases. And unlike car accident cases or trip and fall cases, if you think that a doctor was careless and caused you significant harm and injury, you are unable to go ahead and start a lawsuit the following day, even in normal times. You simply can't just go to an attorney and they go ahead, fill out some paperwork, file it with the court, and you start your lawsuit right away. That's not how it works. That's not how any of it works. So how does it work? I'll tell you how it works. In order for you to go ahead and actually start a lawsuit against a careless doctor or careless hospital staff, an attorney has to evaluate from top to bottom everything that happened to you. The attorney has to obtain all of your medical records to find out for themselves exactly what happened and what was done for you and to you at the hospital and at the doctor's office. In addition, we are required by law to go ahead and have a medical expert review every one of your records to confirm a number of things. So you might be thinking, wait a second, I don't understand. A car accident case, you get into a car accident, you can call an attorney, meet with him, and then the next day they start your lawsuit. And you know what? That's absolutely true. That is what happens. Same thing with a trip and fall case. An attorney can start your case the next day. Not so in a medical malpractice case here in New York. We have to have a medical expert confirm that your doctor violated the basic standards of medical care. We have to be able to show that that doctor's carelessness was a cause. It doesn't have to be the cause, but it has to be a cause of your injury. And we have to show that your injuries are significant and or permanent. Those are the three things that we need to show by a medical expert before we can go ahead and start a lawsuit on your behalf. So even though we can't actually start a lawsuit right now, we can still go ahead and talk to you. We can have a video chat. We can have a telephone conference. We can obtain all the details about what happened to you. And if the attorney is interested in pursuing this to evaluate whether or not you truly have a valid basis for a case, then guess what? We can go ahead and actually get your medical records. Now, that will take a bit longer because everybody's working remotely now, but it's still possible to do. It will simply take more time to do it. And once we obtain those medical records, guess what? We can then send it off to a medical expert who can now review it to determine whether or not you have a good case. Only if our expert determines that yes, you have a good case, when the court system gets back up and running and is back to normal, if our expert confirms that you do have a valid case, then guess what? Then, and only then, will we be able to go ahead and file a lawsuit on your behalf. So to get back to the question I raised at the beginning of this video, can you go ahead and hire an attorney to investigate whether or not you actually have a case? The answer is yes, you can. So as you sit at home wondering why this happened to you, you're wondering whether or not the doctor was careless, and wondering whether or not the injuries that you have now are because of somebody's carelessness, now you can actually pick up the phone to call to start that process going to determine whether or not you actually have a valid basis for a case. Now I should tell you something else that's very important. This will only work if the claims that you have occurred before the lockdown. It occurred before the quarantine. It occurred before this whole pandemic involving the coronavirus. Why? Because there are very special rules that were enacted by the governor and put into place in the past month or two that changes everything. If this happened before the pandemic occurred, then yes, you should pick up the phone to call an attorney to evaluate or to see whether or not you actually have a valid basis for a case. If this is about something that's happening now during the course of the pandemic, and you think somebody, a relative or a friend, did not get appropriate medical care and treatment, that's going to be a bit more of a problem. In fact, it's going to be a significant problem. So focus on the treatment that you had before the lockdown, before the quarantine, because that is something that an attorney will be able to help you with. So why do I share this information with you? I share it with you because you're stuck at home, like everybody else. Maybe you're out on a walk, maybe you're not, but you're stuck at home wondering what's going to happen to you and your family. How are you going to survive? How will you put food on your table if you're no longer able to work? And now you have questions. So what I encourage you to do, if you do have questions, and your matter happened here in New York, and it occurred before this whole pandemic lockdown and quarantine, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call. You know, I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207, or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.